Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome. I'm sorry if you saw me that first 5 seconds before the start, but I was wondering if the show started. But welcome, your FieldlessChoice.com daily hit and run show. Major League Baseball. Pete Cole here. Running solo today. I thought Adam was going to be here, but Adam actually is under the weather, so I am by myself. But that's cool. As long as you have any of you guys here live, just please let's talk. We'll talk through slate together through the comments. But it's Monday, May 9th. Great weekend. Happy belated Mother's Day for all you mothers or husbands of great mothers and wives and all that. And it's been good. It's been actually a good weekend of MLB DFS over at yourfieldlesschoice.com. First of all, check us out. $50, $25 a month. I'm sorry, $25 a month. MLB special. Still going on. It's going to be stopping very shortly, but that includes all sports. We cover a lot of the small sports. Niche sports is our specialty. We had a pretty good weekend. Right now, we had, looking at our winning lineup shroom, looks like, of course, NASCAR hit. My man Eric, he goes by Big E in DFS, does a really good job. Really hard worker. Does a great job with NASCAR. And looks like our guy said WNBA. I see WNBA out the charts. Chris Best does that. Chris also does the F1 stuff. All that weird stuff. Tennis. We have by far the best tennis sheet in the industry. If you guys do tennis, check us out. A lot of times tennis is for free. So if you check out our Discord is free. A lot of stuff on there is premium. But if you go to the free tennis channel, is discord.gg/yourfieldlesschoice. You can find it there. Usually you'll see a lot of our cheat sheets on there. It's also on our site. What else do we have over the weekend? Golf's been doing good. I said MLB's really been doing well. We still have NBA, NHL playoffs. Finally, we're starting to see an MLB. We're starting to see some data after a month. It was a tough couple weeks. There were some days I was really frustrated. Then we had some big wins. But then there was days like, man, is this stuff ever going to end? But we're finally starting to see it like the past 4 or 5 days where data is actually speaking to us. And we're starting to see results now. Perfect example is yesterday with the Colin Moran stuff. Yeah, the Grand Slam, the double dong day. His numbers all of a sudden, just looking at his from day to night numbers. His numbers last year, all those splits, he looked good. Adam Duvall's another one I was on. He had a home run yesterday. So this is MLB DFS. This is what we play it for. Now we're pretty well set till September. We get middle of September though. We have all the call-ups. It gets a little bit like April again, but we're gonna have 3-4 months of really good MLB. We should have a lot of money. Should be a lot of green. FanDuel, like always, is doing good too. We usually talk DK on here, but you can definitely take pretty much the same plays doing the FanDuel. A couple big winners. Corey Heyman won a bunch this weekend at MLB. We had a big MLB early slate on Saturday and plus yesterday. So, all right, enough of that. Once again, yourfieldlesschoice.com, $25 a month, all sports included. Check us out. I mean, I think you'd be happy, especially with the Discord. I do the MLB Discord. We're always throwing stuff in there. We do cores all day. We do cores for all these sports. All right, so any comments, please throw them if you're watching live. I know a lot of people watch us on demand. Throw them in the comment room as we're talking about the slate. And it'll obviously make this go a little bit faster. Said sometimes being solo, you get sick of hearing from me, but we'll try to make this quick and painless. Monday, May 9th, big slate. So we have 2 games early. We have a showdown with the Yankees early, but we're talking about the main slate, which actually starts at 6:35 today. So it's not a normal start, 6:35, and it's of course the one big game. Everybody's gonna be stacking the Dodgers at Pittsburgh, 6:35 p.m. Eastern time. Vegas. Let's start at Vegas. Okay, right now, implied runs live. The Dodgers have the highest 4.7. Nobody's at 5 or above today. There's no cores. Dodgers at 4.7 runs against Pittsburgh. They opened at 4.7. They're still sitting there at 4.7. Then we have the Marlins, surprisingly, 4.5, the second highest. Then we have the Brewers, 4.4 against Cincinnati. My man Luis Castillo is making his finally season debut today, getting that changeup going. I'm a Castillo guy. Gets his first start, but Brewers 4.4, and then the White Sox 4.4 also. They're the only teams above 4.4. White Sox, Brewers, Marlins, Dodgers. Give me kind of a weird slate, but I love the pitching. On the money line, biggest favorite is the Giants. Carlos Rodon game, minus 270 against the Rockies at home. Then you got the Dodgers, minus 247 at Pittsburgh. They're the only teams over minus 200. Beside that, you get the White Sox, minus 182, Brewers, minus 176, and the Padres, minus 167. So the biggest favorites on the slate, Padres, Brewers, White Sox, Dodgers, Giants. That's our Vegas. Looking at weather, I don't see any crazy weather right now at this moment. I don't see any rain, which is going to be weird for once. I do see some wind. I see, well, the Yankee game's early. Winds coming in from right field 20 miles an hour at the White Sox game with Cleveland. Just keep that in mind. Won't be using too many hitters if things stay the same there. But no rain right now in the forecast for tonight. Cool. All right, so what we're gonna do, like always, if you're a regular watcher, we're gonna go through pitching. I'll give you my top pitcher, my top cash, maybe some GPPs, and then just go around the bases. So that's these big slates. We can't go by game. I'm not gonna go game by game on these big slates, and then we'll take it from there. Let's roll pitching. So up top is my man Carlos Rodon. Rodon's a top play to slate. The problem is right now is, let me call up my pitching. Rodon is going to be expensive. So I'm not sure if you need to use Carlos Rodon in cash tonight. I don't really have ownership up yet. I'll try to pull it up as we're talking. But Rodon is by far the best pitcher. Definitely your best GPP play. But like I said, I don't think we need him in cash. He's been lights out. I mean, he's going up against the Rockies. Rockies don't hit lefties, they don't hit righties. So right now, actually, look at their lefty stats. I mean, their stats against left-handed pitching actually isn't bad, but this is obviously, we're going to be seeing some regression coming. 371 WOBA, and you're only striking out 16% of the time, but it's Carlos Rodon. Carlos Rodon has been dominant. If I have to go to bat with anybody, like, it's a 1-game series right now, if it's a final game of the season, I'm going to call Carlos Rodon. So on just the 2022 season, 343 xFIP, 37% K rate. He will walk a few batters, but limited hard contact. Ball goes near a little bit, but he's been dominant. 174 WOBA to lefties, 215 WOBA to righties. So Carlos Rodon has been the man. But are you going to pay a 10K? Yes, you can. So, but let's go through the rest of the pitchers. Let's see who else we have as I'm trying to call up ownership here. So you put Rodon in your GPP/cash box. The next pitcher on probably going money wise is Brandon Woodruff. And Woodruff to me is probably my favorite cash play. He's 9.3. Actually, he's below Mackenzie Gore and Michael Kopech, but to me, Woodruff is the top play at 9.3. So he's $700 less than Rodon. Man, he's had his ups and downs, but he's elite. 9.3's too cheap. They're favorites. Right now, they're like 170 favorites, and they're going up against the Reds. Yes, the Reds finally won a series this weekend, but it was against the Pirates. The Reds right now, 272 WOBA, 70 WRC, second highest K rate in the league. Last start, Woodruff hit him for 12 Ks. All right, so don't overthink this one. It's Woodruff against the Reds as your top pitcher. Yeah, definitely as your top cash pitcher. So if you can get in Woodruff, to me, if you can get in Woodruff and Rodon, you're set. When you take that double barrel pitching, you're all set. It may be tough. There is some value on a slate. Let's go down and see if there's somebody else we can use beside Rodon. I just like Woodruff a little bit better than Rodon, but I guess you can use Rodon or Woodruff. But right now, I got Woodruff as my one. So the other play I think who's probably going to be too cheap is Julio Urias. Urias is only 8-2. I think it's going to be popular, though. Let me see. Ownership projections I'm seeing. Yeah, right now I have Rodon as the highest owned, almost 50%. I think that's going to change. And then you got Julio Urias at 39.5, 40%. So, but Urias is probably going to want to be at least your SP2 cash play. He's not off to a great start, but he still has a 188 ERA. He's not striking batters out. That can be a little concerning, but once again, he's going up against the Pirates. So when you go up against the Pirates, we've seen what the Reds did this weekend, even though the Pirates do have a little pop with Brian Reynolds, but I don't care. Urias is still, he just was on my fantasy team, but Urias is still, let me see, his hard contact's 34%, 47% high ball. His stats really aren't there. But once again, it's against the Pirates. I still think he's in a good spot at 8-2. I'm using him probably as my cash. And unless I go Woodruff and Rodon. I probably sound confusing right now, but I think you got three pitchers there for cash. Woodruff, Rodon, and Urias. Unless you go with the top two guns. Who else we have? There's actually some really good pitching on this slate, especially with GPPs. Now, if we're going to talk about GPPs, I think there's some decent pitching to look at. First of all, is going down, Mackenzie Gore, great pitcher. I just think he's overpriced. Same with Kopech. But you get the wind blowing in. You can use these guys in GPPs. It is what it is. Luis Castillo making his first start. Now, people are saying he's not stretched out. Castillo, though, has made 3 starts in minor leagues. I actually watched a lot of his start last week. I think it was last Wednesday. Change up was working. So Castillo is in play GPP only, so I think he could probably get you 80 pitches plus, because he looks like he's stretched out. Elieser Hernandez against Arizona. I think Hernandez, you can go either way with this guy. Once again, GPP only, but I know Arizona right now is like the flavor of the month. Everybody's targeting Arizona bats because they're cheap. They've been hitting, but right now they are only hitting on the season 191. 191, yeah. WRC plus of 82. Now Hernandez has got a big ass ERA, 6.66. But if you dig further, his xERA is 3.79. So that does make you a little bit more optimistic. Okay, his ERA last season was like a little over 4, and they're not hitting the ball hard off him. Elieser Hernandez, GPP play. A couple other guys we can look at. I think Paul Blackburn's going to be popular. We talked about Paul Blackburn. I think it might have been one show last week. I'm a Blackburn guy, and that was finally the game where Blackburn got hit up a little bit. Maybe it was against Tampa. But the thing about Blackburn is he keeps the ball on the ground. His 5 ball rate is only 23%. Really, really low. Hard contact is only 33%. That's middle, but 50% ground ball rate. 24% fly ball, 50% ground ball rate. The ball's not usually going up in the air against Paul Blackburn. Going up against the Tigers, and you look at this Tigers right now, this season, there isn't one batter over 111 ISO against righties. The thing about Blackburn, he's not going to get you a crazy bunch of Ks. He's got 8.5 K per 9. So, but that's probably the high end of Paul Blackburn. So Blackburn's definitely in pay as GPP. Who else we got here? We got another guy I wouldn't mind GPP's Austin Gomber. So he's only 6.6 on DK. Well, with DK play, but not in Coors Field. Going to San Francisco. This Giants offense right now does not scare me. So they've been getting lucky. Some of these guys have been coming through and hitting, but it doesn't scare me. And right now, his ERA on the road of Austin Gomber is only 2.7, while it's 4.9 at home. Strikeout per inning on the road, definitely GPP play tonight. And they're not hitting them hard, only 34%. So we got Gomber's GPP, Elieser Hernandez's GPP. Who else we got? We can take a look at Chris Flexen. I'm not a big Flexen guy, but I guess when, he's only 5.3. The thing about Flexen, he doesn't strike people out, though. He strikes out, he's got 17 and 29 innings. Good ERA, good whip, 1.14. Batters only hitting 231 against them. But He won't get the strikeouts, but still, at that price, you can get a lot of bats with flexing. You can throw like a Flex and Rodon matchup together or something. So he would be in play for GPPs. Anybody I'm missing? Then you got Pinhead, Michael Pineda, 6'2", only matchup only, but the A's I think the A's actually right now lead the league in strikeouts against right-handed pitching. If I am right, and Pinhead is only 6.2. So a lot of pitching, a lot of games to kind of wrap this up. The best overall play to me is really, I'm going back and forth on Woodruff and Rodon. Probably Woodruff because of price. If I can get Woodruff and Rodon together, I'm going to do it. If not, I'm probably going to go now at 10 a.m. I could change 10 times by 6:35. Right now, I'm probably looking at Woodruff, Julio Urias. We can always go Rodon Urias. Then looking at some GPPs. Another guy I didn't mention, Jeffrey Springs. So Jeffrey Springs is really cheap. So if you're multi-entering, he's not going to get a lot of pitching. He's not going to get a lot of innings, but decent Sierra. I'm seeing some good stuff on Jeffrey Springs. But other GBP guys we like Ellis here, Blackburn, a little bit of Austin Gomber, maybe some Michael Pineda. Here's one other name. The last name I'm going to mention, Humberto Castellanos. He's only 7-1 going up against Miami. So he started a year in the bullpen, now starting rotation for Arizona. And I think he had that one game against Miami where he did pretty well. I'll tell you right now. Yeah, last game against Miami with 5.2 innings, struck out 4, no walks, no earned runs, only gave up 4 hits. So he's put up now his last 3 starts, 2 of them have been 18 fantasy points or above. He got shelled by the Cardinals. But once again, we're only talking GPP here. So through Humberto Castellanos in that little grouping also of GPP pitchers. All right. Oh, good, Eric. If you have the numbers, that'd be great. So I don't have to keep looking. We got Mackenzie Gore, 18%. I said I don't mind Gore. I just think that at that price, there's no way I'm going to pay Mackenzie Gore when I can have Rodon for $300 more and Woodruff for $400 less. All right, that's it for pitching. You got a lot of other guys you could throw in there, but whatever. Sorry. All right, let's go around the bases. Catching. Okay, right now looking at catching. Catching is probably going to be a throwaway position tonight, unless you want to go Wilson Contreras against Mackenzie Gore. Oh, sorry. Thoughts on Noah Syndergaard? I think Noah Syndergaard is on the downside. I don't want to say downside of his career. That would be the wrong wording. But he's not the pitcher that he doesn't strike people out. I mean, he never really did, I guess, but it wasn't. It never a big strikeout pitcher. So let's see. He's a 2.93 ERA, 2.63 ERA, not bad. His WHIP 0.96. Anything under 1 is pretty damn good. But here's the problem with Thor is the K per 9, 5.25 K per 9. That's why you're always going to see. You're usually not going to see Thor get beat up, but you're going to see him in that 12, 13 to like 18 DK point range. So they're playing, wind's blowing out in this game. So they're playing at home, right? They're playing at home in Tampa Bay. The wind blowing out. He's not allowing runs, but he's not striking people out. So Thor is always going to be a price play. We saw him last night, yesterday, Tampa Bay can't hit. Tampa Bay is such a weird team. So now I would say, is he in playing GPPs? Yes. So he's definitely in playing GPPs, but I wouldn't be going crazy over him because Tampa Bay is a type of team that could go off, but they could also lay an egg like it did yesterday. And when Thor's exit right now is 4.95, not good, and his K rate is only 14%. I just call it up. So that's what you're looking at for DFS. Keeping the ball on the ground, good, 50% ground ball rate. That's typical Thor. So once again, he's an SB2, but when I'm looking at that price, I'd probably go somewhere else. I could probably go instead of Thor when he is 7.9, not bad, but always been playing GPPs. But in the same area, I would go to Paul Blackburn at 7.5, even maybe down to Gomber. And you got Julio Urias, only $300 more. All right, good question though. All right, catch right now. Of course, we got Varsho is always going to be the popular play, and that's what we're looking at. In catching, I'm sorry, metal alloy, and that's what I'm trying to say. Right, Blackburn would be the chalky play, so Thor would be a decent pivot. Even maybe like Zach Plezak down there too, I guess. One of these guys. So you can use him. Maybe he'll get 7-8 strikeouts. It's not like he hasn't done it before. All right, sorry. Back to catching. So right now, my top catcher, man, I like the Varsho kid, but the problem is when Varsho is so high owned, I like to go away from him. Usually, I would, if anything, if I had the money, I'd go to Wilson Contreras tonight. Probably GPP because it's $4,800. 247 ISO, 375 Woba against lefties. It's Mackenzie Gore, kid. I like Contreras. I see why Varsho would be the popular play. He's got the platoon split going up against a righty. 231 ISO against righties. Anybody got any? I don't see much BVP here at all. Any catchers on any streaks? I don't see anybody in decent streaks here for catchers. So yeah, I can see Varsho is probably going to be the top cash play. Anybody else I'm going to look at for GPPs? Let's see. Let's get JT against Flexen. Flexen, no, pitch to contact pitcher. Man, there's really not much out there. You can't play Stevenson. Maybe Omar Narvaez, lefty versus righty. If Narvaez could ever wake up, 163 ISO. We used to always use him. He's hitting 0.90 over the last week. I'm sick of using guys that are in slumps, so I'll probably stay away from Narvaez. Man, his catch is not good tonight. You got Jose Quintana going for Pittsburgh. He's been pitching well. His forward is going to eventually fall apart. And you got Will Smith, but I'd rather see Will Smith than reverse splits against righties. But Smith's always in play, I guess, and maybe with Max Stassi. So Eric's numbers are probably right. Varsho is going to be the top play at cash, and then a little bit of maybe some Will Smith. Sean Murphy, he's not hitting either. I think he had a couple hits yesterday, but overall he's not hitting. And maybe some Contreras. All right, so it is Varsho. Varsho is your cash play. And anybody else, what you do is wait for lineups to come out. You see who's the cheapest catcher. Look at the platoon and probably take that. Catching to me is not even worth it tonight. All right, so let's go right to first base. Right now, hitting first base. Who's the hottest hitter we have? Miami's playing tonight. Jesus Aguilar right now. The last 7 days is hitting 367, 11-4-30. Aguilar's hitting well. Rowdy Tellez hitting 321 the last 7 days. Jared Walsh, he's been hitting the ball really well, 370 the last 7 days. So we got a bunch of guys who are actually hitting the ball. So looking at ownership right now for first base or, popularity-wise, probably going to be, you got Freddie Freeman tonight. Freddie Freeman against it's Quintana, though. Freeman's going to be popular, though it's lefty versus lefty. So that's probably going to keep the ownership down. So this would be maybe a day to play Freddie. Rowdy Tellez going up against Freddie Castillo. And we've seen, even though Castillo's got that pitch, though, but we've seen Castillo get blown up. I don't mind Tellez. You got Spring's only going to pitch a couple games in Tampa, so you got Ohtani, and those lefty versus lefty, but you got the Tampa bullpen. So let's back up. Who's the top play at first base without getting all crazy? It's going to be, I know ownership is showing Garrett Cooper. Man, I guess maybe Cooper, but he's going up against Castellanos. He doesn't have great numbers against righties. He's only hitting 200 over the last week. If I'm looking at anybody, I'm probably looking at to me personally, I'm probably looking at Rowdy Tellez right now. Tellez right now is on fire. He's hitting 320 over the last week. 3 homers. Good spot. Here's another one. Wilmer Flores is now first base eligible on DK. Going up against a lefty. We know what happens when Wilmer Flores goes up against lefties. Bomb City. 258 ISO since last year, 375 WOBA. Wilmer Flores at 3.9, I think, is your top GPP play at first base. I could possibly even use him in cash. Darren Ruffson play against Jomber. Man, these are weird ownership numbers. Jesus Aguilar, yep, I can see. I said how hot Aguilar is. I would probably play Aguilar over the popular Cooper. Aguilar hitting 370 over the last week, 270 on the season. I did a write-up on him somewhere the other day where right now Aguilar is like since he came over to Miami from Tampa, Aguilar has 18th most RBIs. And these are more RBIs than guys like I know Juan Soto and Harper and these guys. Aguilar is a very underrated, good hitter for Miami. You got Ty France. His price is finally down to 4.2. They've been slumping, but they get a good matchup tonight. Maybe get out of that slump. Right now, France is slashing 324, 392, 46 on the season. Going up against Ranger Suarez, I think this is a good spot for Ty France and Seattle against Suarez tonight. At only 4.2, I like that price. Actually, I like that price a lot. So maybe Ty France may end up being my top first baseman. It's all said and done. I do like I do like Rowdy Tellez. I think Tellez is in a great spot. No problem using him, and maybe Jesus Aguilar or my man Wilmer Flores. Man, Rowdy Tellez has been doing well the last 10 days. All right, second base. Do we have any questions? We don't have any. Okay, Donde Aguilar or Flores GPP. Wilmer Flores against the lefty. Boom. I mean, they're both good GPP plays, but I've been playing Wilmer Flores against lefties for 5-6 years now, and made a lot of money with Wilmer Flores. I didn't look at BVP. BVP wise, nobody. CJ Cron hits Rodon. 5 for 9. It's not 9 at bats isn't bad. That's really it. Okay, second base. Ownership, Eric just gave me Jazz. No, there's nobody over 23%. So these are really not big numbers. So right now, it looks like Jazz is your top play, but Jazz isn't cheap. Okay, so what do we got here? Who's looking at numbers-wise? Who's probably Brandon Lowe against Thor. Brandon Lowe is starting to heat up a little bit. You play Brandon Lowe against lefties. Against righties. He's a lefty. 254 ISO against righties. He's hitting now 320 in the last week. He had those 2 bombs there a night. So Lau is back in play at only 4.4. I could definitely dig Brandon Lau. Who else? Adam Frazier. I'm going to start looking at Mariners today. So, because Suarez, it looks like to me, the splits I'm seeing with Ranger Suarez is lefties seem to do well against Suarez. What I'm seeing, let me call that up. I believe Suarez struggles against lefties. Now watch me be wrong. No, I am wrong. So you want righty bats, but like a Tay France. But Frazier's a lefty, but Frazier can't lefties. So Frazier is more of a better reverse split hitter. He's not going to strike out. Okay, so going back, second base, I like Adam Frazier. I'm gonna be using some Mariners tonight. It looks like Ketel Marte. I think he's back. He's starting to hit well, and he's on, I believe, an 8-game hit streak. 3 hits yesterday. And he gets that K rate down. He's been striking out earlier in the season. Marte is giving me a 4. So Marte is only 4,100. That's a really good price for Ketel Marte. So I like Marte. I like Frazier. Brandon Lau. Jake Cronenworth against Hendricks. Definitely. He's only 4,700. I'm a Cronenworth guy. And then the big guy is Jazz, but he's 5,400. If you can get Jazz in, I guess you go with him. If Jed Lowry plays tonight, he sat yesterday. Jed Lowry's not getting any younger. Lowry may be in play at 3,100 against Pineda. I feel like I'm missing somebody. What percent of ownership do you consider too large? If you see somebody like over 30%, like you just said, if you see over 30%, that's usually going to be chalky. This is real early for ownership numbers. A lot of these are just ballpark. But if you see a guy like at 30%, he's going to be chalky. Like Varsho at catcher. But you see Varsho's numbers too. He's also, I think he's still outfield eligible. He's also eligible in the outfield. But if you see a guy over 30%, he's going to be very chalky. And that's a cash play. And then you may want to get off it in GPPs. Going anybody else I'm missing here? Toro finally hit a home run, but he's having a terrible season. Estrada against Gomber for Giants. Nah, Colton Wong's always in play, I guess. I mean, Wong at 4,300. Anytime Colton Wong's in the 4K range, you can play him. So there's some plays there. But overall, I think I like Jazz is your top cash play if you can get there. But you don't have to use Jazz. He's sitting 310 out of season, 310 of last week. So great player. I like Marte at 4-1. I like Lau at 4-4. And I wouldn't mind some Adam Frazier. And that's really it for second base. Ketel Marte may end up being my play. Marte, Cronenworth, Lau in the 4K range, or Jazz. Okay, third base. Ownership numbers, Eric just threw up here. We got Josh Rojas. I had a feeling he may be popular tonight. 19%. Joey Wendell, 17. All these guys are all below that. Justin Turner, 17. Who can't hit anymore. Alec Bohm, 8%. I do like Alec Bohm, but any GBP numbers here? Moncada hits play sack 5 for 18. And there's a note there. Eric said he's supposed to be back tonight. We see Justin Turner struggles against Quintana. Oh my God. Anybody who struggles against Quintana. Machado does hit Hendricks. Machado is always my play. Looking at last 7-day numbers, anybody's really standing out. And I imagine you got Machado hitting 9 for 21, 3 home runs last 7 days, hitting 429. If you get Machado, like if I have a choice, Machado at third or Jazz at second, I'm always playing Machado. Machado is your top play. Brandon Drury's really hitting the ball well. But his price is also showing it too. But he's going up against Brandon Woodruff. So now looking overall at your top plays, like I said, you always like Machado. Don't even, but it may be tough to get to him because of his price. So let's go down a little bit cheaper. J-Ram against Kopech, 6,200, GBP only. Turner would be a great play against Quintana, but Justin Turner even his advanced metrics, I did a whole write-up on him Saturday for season-long baseball, and I researched Justin Turner for like 2 or 3 hours, and his advanced metrics are just not there. His last 2 seasons are his worst. So I've gotten to the point where I'm not playing these guys that are hitting 100 over the last week or last month. So GBP only, even though Turner may be popular. Rendon against Springs, but once again, Springs will only be pitching a couple innings for Tampa. So, but Rendon's in play. Rendon's probably has the best numbers out of everybody. 250 ISO, 395 WOBA over the last 2 years against lefties. So, yeah, Rendon's in great play. But we said Machado plays 5,700 against Hendricks. But once again, Hendricks can be a damn good pitcher when he wants to be. And especially against, he's a veteran pitcher. You keep the ball on the ground. Even though Machado's hot, though, I wouldn't go crazy over Machado today. GPP only, though, but he's on fire. So that brings us down to my man Colin Moran. Anytime you see righties, but it's Brandon Woodruff, so you can't be playing Moran today, but Moran had a big day yesterday. Here we go. I like Alec Bohm. Bohm may be my top play at 3,400. So he may be our one value play. This is a kid that was a first-round pick at Wichita State, I believe it was. They thought he was the heir apparent to. They haven't found a third baseman since Scott Round left. And terrible season last year. Boom, he had those errors that one game. Philly fans went crazy on him. Now all of a sudden he turned around. He's having a breakout year. He's hitting 312 right now, the 351 WOBA. Especially since they put him on top of the lineup. He's top of the lineup. He's been, I think, that made me numbers after they put him up. He's hitting second. But he's probably my favorite play right now. That's third base, and it's going to give me some, it's against flexing. It's going to give me some, possibly some leverage for value. Hitting 320 over last week, 310 on the season. Like I said, Rendon is another popular play who I like tonight. Ownership is showing Suarez GPP. Yeah, definitely. Suarez GPP. Suarez could be. It's got to be GPP because he's only hitting like 204. What's he hitting? 204. On base of 305. He's not getting on base, but man, he's showing that power like he did in Cincinnati. So 1.54 home run 9 rate. I like Suarez. I like Seattle tonight. I like Suarez a lot tonight in GPPs. I'm glad you brought that up. You can't be playing Geno Suarez in cash though. I've tried that. It never works out too well playing Geno in cash. It just doesn't. It usually doesn't end too well. Anybody else here that I'm missing? Not really. Maybe Muncy. Lefty on lefty Dobus Quintana. Let anybody play Justin. And Justin Turner hits a home run tonight, so be it. Okay, but I'm not playing this 090 hitting Justin Turner anymore. I like Justin Turner. I've always been a fan of his. I just can't do it. Joey Wendell, 36. There you go. I saw Eric put that up for ownership. Joey Wendell. I went by him quick. He's only $3,600 against the righty Castellanos. I do like Castellanos GBPs, but Joey Wendell is always a solid player. He's not hitting 100 over the last week, but 270 out of season, so not bad. This Noisy kid and Guru, hope I got that right now. Sheldon Noisy, right? Yeah. Is going up against Pinhead, and he's hitting 300 on his season. So Noisy is hitting $3,800. He's in play. But overall, I'll probably try to get the Rendon at 48. I'm probably going to go down like an Alec Bohm. But once again, remember, this is 10 o'clock. A lot can change the next 45 hours. Okay, let's hit shortstop. Jace Peterson. Jace Peterson is Peterson third base. Peterson always jumps around. Oh, here, wait. I'm glad you brought up Jace Peterson because we have Luis Urias, who's now up to 5K. He just came out the IL. He's hitting the ball well. He's hitting 350 since he came out the IL in like 4 or 5 games. But for 5K against Castillo, maybe. But that brings it to Peterson. Is Peterson third base eligible? So, yeah, Peterson's always solid. I think Peterson's always a decent play. For some reason, I thought he was shortstop eligible, but I guess I'm wrong. All right, let's go to shortstop. Right now, Trey Turner is always going to be a popular play. Josh Rojas is going to be popular. You're going to see a lot of these Arizona guys popular. Is Wendell is shortstop eligible, I guess. So, overall, ownership, no, but nobody's over 20%. So, I really don't care about ownership, I guess. Overall, our top shortstop, probably Trey against Quintana, get the best metrics. But if you don't want to go with the popular Trey, Willie Adames is probably in a great spot. 5,100, almost the same price as Trey. Baez is GPP only, but this is Blackburn. Timmy Anderson. Probably Timmy Anderson. He's hot. 7 hits in 7 of his last 8. 5 multi-hit. So he's now hitting 337. It's my man. And Zach Plesac is struggling. FanDuel definitely $3,600. FanDuel, I guess you lock him in FanDuel. But Anderson's a top play. Probably Trey if you can get there. That's probably the way to go. Who's the hottest shortstop? Jatman. Oh, I have second base up. Going back second, Jazz is hot. Let me see. Adames. No, Adames is only hitting 220 over the last 7 days. Polanco, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's got to be to me. It's Trey, Timmy Anderson, and Willie Adames. They're your top three, unless you want to drop down to one of these scrubs like a Josh Rojas, who's going to be possibly popular. Miguel Rojas maybe more in play for Miami. I mean, these guys are all chancy though, man. I don't know. I just out of all of them, Joey Wendell's probably the safest. At least I watched Joey Wendell play for years. He's a scrappy little hitter. I like Joey Wendell, but I'm paying up a shortstop today. So Timmy A, Trey Turner, or Adames are your plays. Probably Trey Turner when it's all said and done. But Nick Ahmed is not hitting. I played Nick Ahmed against lefties, but man, he's not hitting at all. All right, so Wendell's my favorite cheap play, $3,600 as of right now. All right, outfield. Finishes up at outfield. We are looking at, man, there's a bunch of outfielders today and a bunch of guys I like. So I guess starting up top. I mean, I'm not going to name them all, but there's so many of them. But one guy, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Christian Yelich is actually getting closer and closer to that 2018 season. I mean, he's hits in 8 of his last 10 games. Three home runs in that span, 17 ribbies. Hitting really well against righties, much better against righties than lefties. So Christian Yelich, I think, is a good play tonight at 5K. I guess first, is there anybody that really blows anything away BVP wise? Mookie Betts hits Quintana, 6 for 17. What's Quintana? Once again, I keep saying that, but Betts is probably overall top play. Will Myers, Yelich, Castillo actually has Yelich's number a little bit, 214 lifetime average. So, all right, so nobody really jumps out. Cody Bellinger's got decent 267 against Quintana. So let's look at overall top outfielder. Probably has to be Bryce Harper, the way he's hitting right now. And he gets Chris Flexen. Harper is on fire. You can't go wrong with these guys. We said Mookie Betts, Schwarber, all these guys, they all have the platoon split. So take a pick. Mike Trout. Now, let's just talk about cheaper guys. So you probably get like one high-priced outfielder. I would probably pick Harper out of the bunch, but you can also go Betts, Yelich, Trout, any of those guys. So I'm just trying to give you guys some value guys here. I'm going to tell you how good Mike Trout is. Who do we have that's decent value? First, you got this kid, Alek Thomas for Arizona. I think he's minimum price. He made his debut last game. I think he's either number 1 or number 2 prospect. Goes up against Eliezer Hernandez, who, like you said, struggles against left-handed bats. Yeah, he's allowing 290. He's allowing a slash 93, 364, 621 slash to lefty bats. So Alek Thomas is a decent minimum price play. His second MLB game. You can look at him. Chad Pinder, always like Chad Pinder. He's still only $2,600. He's top of the order. Hit 306 over his last 10 games. The problem with Pinder, he strikes out a lot. But he's going because of Michael Pineda. So I like Pinder. Franmil Reyes is finally starting to hit. And he's hitting in May 474. Home run, 4 runs. And Franmil's a streaky hitter. He's also a streaky strikeout guy. But Franmil GPP. So Franmil GPP, Pinder GPP. You can play Varsho in the outfield. He's only 3,800. So Varsho's in play there. Who else we got? Seth Brown against Pineda, 3K, 244 ISO. Jorge Soler against Castellanos. He's only $3,800. He had a bomb finally the other night, but he's not hitting. See if any of these guys are really hot. That I'm sick of playing 100 guys that are only hitting $120. But Manny Margot is on fire, huh? He's hitting 500 over last week. I've been touting for Manny Margot forever. So what's Manny Margot's price now? I mean, you want to play hot hand, you play a guy like Manny Margot. And if anybody's been playing Margot lately, I won money yesterday and a crap lineup, but I had Margot in it because he had one of the only runs, I think, for Tampa. Randy Arosarena's not doing great right now. But so okay, so I'm sorry. So we got Margot's hot. I'm looking for cheap guys here. There isn't many cheap guys that jump off the paper. Eric, did you put up ownership for that? So okay. Margot's really been on fire. Avisail Garcia. So it looks like Miami's popular today. Miami and Arizona. Pavin Smith's a good spot. So I would probably go away from these guys, but they're going to be too popular. So right now, I'm looking at, here's my top overall at this moment. Top overall value plays is, boy, Mauricio Dubon. I mean, he's only 2.3. I guess Dubon's Austin Slater right there at 2.9. So you like Austin Slater. I said Alec Thomas. You do get Pavin Smith against a righty, so Pavin Smith. So Pavin Smith, Austin Slater, and it's Alec Thomas kid. I like Chad Pinder, even though he strikes out, but it's against Pineda, so put Pinder in that category. And that's probably it, really. And who are you talking about? It's only 2,900. Wait. How much is Margot? I don't have I can't find Margot's. Margot's only 2,900. For some reason, Margot's price is not coming up on my computer. If Margot is still $2,900 and you play him, but I find that hard to believe. I guess. I mean, he was. And then yes, Julio Rodriguez for your Seattle stack. I love Julio Rodriguez, and he's finally starting to hit. I'll play Julio Rodriguez every day, especially with the kid's speed. So, all right. So I hope I didn't confuse you guys there, but yeah, Margot is only $2,900. Just play Margot then. For some reason, I thought he went to like 35. TJ Friedl's now he's going against Woodruff. Never mind. Don't even forget I even said that. And then you get Kevin Kiermaier. You like to play Kiermaier against certain righties, and Syndergaard is one of those kind of righties. Kiermaier is 25. You can't get hurt playing Kevin Kiermaier sometimes, especially if he gets on base with a little bit of that speed. So put Kevin Kiermaier in that category too. All right, I know I'm rambling now. Okay, what we got? Top stacks. My top stack of the day is, everybody's going to be going on Arizona. I know that. So, but Arizona is going to be popular, of course. To be different. I do like, even though I'm a Kyle Hendricks guy, I'm probably going to stack the Padres. And another one I like is I may end up going right back to Oakland, because a lot of people have been playing Pineda because Oakland's been hitting so bad. So Oakland is going to be another one of my probably favorite stacks tonight. I'm looking for totally different stacks. The people stacks are going to be different because everybody's going to be on. The Dodgers are going to be so popular tonight. So, and you do want to get some Dodgers in your lineup, but I'm not going to go crazy on chalk Dodgers. All right. So right now I'm looking at Oakland. We know Arizona's chalky. Seattle. I'm sorry. I'm glad I brought that up. And Seattle. So Oakland, Seattle, Padres. And of course, Dodgers. And Arizona. All right. Home run call of the day. Oh, Lord. I know there's somebody I probably called and said I said I loved to play, but now I can't remember who it was. Who did I say I loved? And then it can't be Timmy Anderson because he's going up against a righty. Margot is just too hot. Thoughts on White Sox stack? Well, the thing is right now I get that wind blowing in at like 20 miles an hour. So if that's the case, no. But once again, it's going to be if the wind stays like that, it's going to be a low owned. So that's the type of stack you want, because if it does, we had that one game, everybody's talking about the 100-mile-an-hour winds, and then the game ended up going off. So that's the type of stacks I guess you like in GBPs that nobody else is on. All right. I'm trying to come up with my home run call, and probably it's going to be, I think I'm looking at Brandon Lau, I believe, is probably my home run call. Right now, I'd probably say Brandon Lau. So with the Chalky Dodgers, do you just use them as a secondary 2-3 man? Yep. Or you can use them. You can also use Dodgers as your main stack, but just be different and do like a wraparound, do a low order stack, and then get a weird secondary stack like the A's, something like that. But right now, the way I'm looking at these big tournaments, 5-man stacks are winning these big tournaments. All right, I'm still on 5-man team stacks are the way to do it. No less than 4. But if you want to win a big one, yes, there's always going to be some days, a bunch of one-offs are going to do it. I actually just had one that's not too long ago where we did it well. It wasn't a 5-man stack, but overall, the 5-man stack is definitely the way to go. But you know what I mean? So if you want to be a little different and do the Dodgers, like it's just 4 Dodgers, or do a different, like a wraparound stack. Because like say the Dodgers, I don't like the lineup isn't out yet, but you can do, if it's the way it's projected, you can go with like a Gavin Lux around the bets, something like that, or go like a Chris Taylor, Muncie, Austin Barnes Lux, something like that. Something that's gonna be different. Okay, that's the only way you can jump out people is those bottom of the order stacks or wraparounds. All right, so right now I'm looking at Brandon Lau. I know there's another guy that I was praising, but I can't remember now which one. But we'll have it up in premium. Other notes, top plays will be up later, and I think that's it. If you guys have any questions. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We'll be back on tomorrow, 10 a.m. Peace.